shirt on, it's a form of speech. So they're restricting those kinds of things. And also, I know that, like, for instance, if either one of you guys had a wife or kids and you went to a shelter, they would put you with the men, put them with the women and children, so they aren't keeping the families together. So if you want to keep your family together, you got to stay on the streets. So,
There are no children.
no shelters in Titusville.
The only one they had was Salvation Army, and that only housed a couple people at a time, and they only let you stay there for 3 nights every 90 days.
And I hear they make you leave at like 6 in the morning, like
5 in the morning.
So it's only from like 10 at night till 5 in the morning is, I think, what I've heard.
Yeah.
So it's
but
not.
Now they closed that. That doesn't even exist anymore.
I mean, there's Liberty Lodge and North Brevard, but it's all so damn structured that
They choke you to death, so you end up leaving anyway.
Yeah.
So there's always like some kind of petty rule or something that you either break, that they throw you out, or you get frustrated and say, I've had enough of this. What's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for one of you guys?
I've had a lot of people do some really nice things for me.
There are some nice people.
Yeah, there are nice people.
They're just so far and few between,
I had a...
Go for it.
Remember that homeless dude? Gave me $100?
Another homeless man, homeless just like yourself, gave you $100.
Yep. Guy did the same for me. Same guy.
Are you sure he was really homeless?
He was about as homeless as we are.
So where did the money come from?
He must get a big check every month or something.
That's all we could figure out.
Well, I mean, if he's getting something like Social Security, let's just say, and let's say he's getting, let's say, $1,000 a month. Well, that's a lot of money if you don't have a water bill and an electric bill and rent and a house payment and taxes, and you're living on the street. You can eat on $1,000 a month.
Easily, yeah.
Okay. What do you think it would take to get you off the streets and to not be homeless? Like, what do you envision will get you off the street if you ever get off the street? I'll ask you, Robert, first.
I have no idea, because I am so used to this that I don't even know if I want to get off, which is sad to say, but...
So it almost becomes normal.
Right.
Is part of it the stress of, I guess, living in normal, what other people would say is normal society, is the normal stresses of jobs and bills?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
And
but
how,
I like the freedom, too.
Well, but some of those freedoms have a high price,
Well,
like
this is true.
getting arrested and harassed by the police, and scrounging for a meal every day doesn't sound like fun to me. I mean,
Well,
It's not.
and how about you? What do you think it would take to get you off the street? What do you think would be the thing that somebody could do for you that would end this? Or do you feel the same way Robert does?
The first thing is, you know what, if they'd... I hate to say this, I don't want to sound racial about anything, but you know what? All the illegals got to go. They're taking over all our jobs, half price or a third of the price of what we'd be making. Okay? When I used to make $1,000 or $1,500 a week, these guys are doing $300 or $400. It's ridiculous. So that cuts us off. White guys are doing $40. I mean, you ever seen a homeless black man I've never seen a homeless Mexican. Every one of them are working somewhere.
I know. Well,
But you go to, I go to apply for a job and I can't get one. Why is that? Because my ID's expired? Half these guys don't even have IDs. They got no legal paperwork to even work in the United States. What are they doing here?
it's funny because Donald Trump, who's running for president right now, is saying the same kind of things that
Yeah.
that illegals are taking the jobs.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is income inequality. Because even let's say you had a full-time job, and let's say you made minimum wage. Let's just say. I don't know if anywhere in Titusville that you could rent, that you could live, if you worked 40 hours a week, making minimum wage. I don't know of anywhere
No.
that you could afford the rent, the electric bill, and then be able to afford to feed yourself and clothe yourself. So it almost, in that way, seems like you're defeated, right? Because you can't even, people will say, well, you got to start at the bottom, you got to work your way up, and you guys are in your 50s, and I'm sure you guys have had some life experiences, some jobs, some things that you guys would probably be great at. But like so many people feel that jobs that pay a living wage just aren't there.
Nope.
And I don't know what you guys have ever been carpenters or welders or skilled labor like that. Have you ever done
Yeah.
skilled labor?
I can do just about anything.
So probably if you did these things in the 70s or the 80s, there were probably a living wage
Oh, I was making booty
associated
dollars.
with doing that.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Do you think, looking back on those times, that you would have saved some of the money, or did you really think, we live in America, things are like this, they're always going to be like this? They were there, manufacturing jobs were there probably for your parents, and they were able to raise you guys and give you normal lives for the most part.
It was all different back then. Now it's just everything's gone haywire. I mean, there's nothing now. Like I said, they're going back to minimum wage. I mean, this state alone doesn't pay anything. I mean, a job I did up in Chicago, I'd be making $32.75 up there laying block. Come down here, $7.50 an hour. I looked at the guy and says, "Are you nuts? I'm a union block layer, and you're going to sit there and tell me that you're only going to pay me $7.50 an hour, and you're benching blocks all day? No way. Ain't happening. You can't live on that."
Yeah, no. Right now they're supposed to have they started on Sunday, September the 22nd, 2015. The 40 Days of Generosity here in Titusville. Has anybody come up to you guys and said, "Hey, we've seen you around, we recognize that you're homeless. For these 40 days we're doing things to help guys like you"? Has anyone?
Nope.
And you guys are pretty easy for me to find. I found you guys. I was only walking for 15 minutes, and I live at Indian River Pines here in Titusville. I walked up to Circle K at Highway 50 by US 1, and there you guys were. It was plain to see. I didn't want to make any assumptions, and I asked you if you were homeless, because you guys could have been laborers, you could have been, but I think I've seen you around before. You I don't recognize, but you guys are out there, and maybe this will awaken some people to your situations, or what can be done. I don't know. I don't have the answers. And I'm a veteran myself, and I think a lot of people are about one paycheck, two paychecks away from being homeless, and they don't realize how fragile their lives really are. They buy things, they buy the latest phones and iPods and all this other crap, and can happen like you. They get hurt at work, they get hurt, and then they can't work, and then slowly everything just goes
right downhill. That's fast.
I really appreciate you guys talking to me, and I'll put this on YouTube. Hopefully it'll be up in the next day or so. Takes a little while to get it on there. And if anyone did want to help you guys out, what kind of stuff do you need? I mean, you obviously need somewhere to lay your head other than the jail, because I'm sure the police would love to accommodate you that way, or you know, give you a trespass like they did over here at Rotary. But if somebody had something for you, what kind of stuff do you need? Everything basically: toothbrush, clothes, a house, a car, a vehicle, a job, a chance.
Someplace to put stuff where nobody would steal it, because everything you do acquire ends up getting stolen. And there, you know, I mean, you can't carry everything around with you all the time.
Right.
I mean,
and I'm sure
that's just a dead giveaway.
Right, and I'm sure the police probably assume if they see you with something that you did steal it, that you didn't come by it honestly. I've noticed you travel around on your bicycle, and I see that you don't have a light on it, and I don't know if you know, but you can get harassed by the cops. If not, have they already given you a ticket?
$75 ticket.
For not having a light on your bicycle.
Well, there's a light on there, but it's just, it's something happened. I don't know. It's either the contacts are messed up or something, because it just went dead just like that. And then I had my other seat that I had on my bike that had the back light on it. Someone stole the seat when I was in the hospital, you know, because it's a quick release. They stole the seat. Well, it had the light stuck to it. But luckily I got a new seat. And it actually matches the bike.
Yeah, you know, it's weird too. They say, you know, oh, we don't have debtors' prisons here in America. You know, we got rid of that when we got England out of our lives. But what'll happen is that fine, as I'm sure you probably know, a judge will turn that into an order, and then you'll be found in contempt. And they'll go, well, it's not a debt. You're not going to jail because it's a debt. You're in jail. You're going to jail for not paying it because it's contempt of court. But it all comes down to the same thing. They want green pieces of paper with dead presidents on them.
Yep.
So no matter what you call it, you can call it a ham sandwich. Still $75, and you're going to jail to serve some time if you can't afford to cough it up.
Isn't that strong-armed robbery?
Yeah.
They run around with their guns and their badges and this and that, and hand out all these tickets. And I mean, they pretty much force you. If you don't want to go to jail, pay the money. If you got the money, you're not going to jail. But if you don't pay the money, you're going to jail.
Right, and if you had the money in the first place, you wouldn't be on the street, and you wouldn't have incurred the fine in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've talked long enough. I have to make sure to get this on YouTube. It's got a minute. I'm sure I'm going to have to chop this up, but I appreciate you guys talking to me and being so open and honest, really, with everything.
Yeah, man.
Thanks a lot.
All right. All right, guys. All right.
That was awesome.
Cool.